And we are now filming. Hello, this is Geralyn St Joseph. You're with our group, Mystery, Mystics, and Metaphysics, where we discuss all things metaphysical. We're here on Zoom and on Facebook Live. If you're on Facebook Live and you have questions, please know that we don't see things in real time because when streaming to Facebook Live, things are on a delay. We will do a Q&A at the end of this, and later on we can go on Facebook and answer your questions individually if we need to. We are on the Paris Study page. Paris Study is in Pennsylvania, in Chester Heights, Pennsylvania, which is near Glen Mills. We are over 50 years old, and we are an establishment that is a 501c3. Any and all donations are greatly appreciated because it takes a lot to keep our house going. Thank you for coming. So today we're doing Reiki Talk, and we have 3 panelists, all who do Reiki, and I believe all 3 of you are Reiki Masters, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so we have Wanda Lee, we have Cleta, Prince, and we have Terri deBruin. All 3 of you are associated right now with Paris Study in one way or another. And let's start our talk. So the first thing I want to do is discuss like how you guys discovered Reiki. Where did this start for you? I think we will start with Cleta had Reiki first. So Cleta, how did you discover it? Like, what brought it to your attention?
Well, I joined Paris Study and became a member in 1996. And I kept hearing people about doing Reiki and being a Reiki Master and things like that. Mm-hmm. So first, Reiki 1 was offered here. We paid $250 per person. And that was a lot of money back then.
It still is to some people.
Yeah, it is.
Most of us.
And that's how I became my first Reiki 1. And that's how I started. And it was very interesting to me. It fascinated me how energy can move. It was the first time I ever had to deal with things like that.
Pretty cool. Terri, how about you?
I was introduced to Reiki in 2015 from a friend that said I needed it. I had a double lung transplant in 2010 and my body was totally drained. And so I needed to find a way to heal myself. And then I continued through 2017 and 2018, taking additional classes to advance in Reiki training.
Wanda.
Okay, mine, I was going to a center just to get away from where I was living. And that's where I met Terri. And then Terri took me under her wing and taught me Reiki.
Pretty
and
cool.
That's how I got started.
So let me ask the 3 of you, are there different types of Reiki or is all Reiki the same?
There's different, I guess it would be different types, different ways of doing the energy.
So what are what do you guys do? Is there like a basis, like a real basic Reiki, and then there's like Holy Fire, and different things like that, or how does that work?
Most people start with regular Reiki, and they do 1, 2, and they become a master, and then they go into other ones like Reiki Fire. Also, there's a thing called Healing Touch.
Now, is Healing Touch really considered a Reiki, or is Healing Touch a separate modality?
It's working with the energy, but you don't touch the person like you do with Reiki.
Okay.
And I only did level 1 with that. I didn't seem to like that. It was more of being an instructor, and I didn't want to be an instructor.
Okay. So Wanda, what type of Reiki or what forms of Reiki have you discovered and tried out, and what form of Reiki are you a Reiki Master with?
Right now, I'm a Reiki Master with Usui Holy Fire. I'm a Reiki Master teacher practitioner. and I just finished my course in Shamanic Reiki. And Shamanic Reiki, it deals with the same symbols, same, you know, as regular Reiki, but you add like your wakas, which are stones. It could be anything, like a black tourmaline or whatever. So, and you're learning, you're doing things with the four elements. You journey, you even take people on a journey. So they help heal themselves. So that's what Shamanic Reiki is. And I
Okay.
enjoyed doing that. Plus with the Reiki, and I deal with it with the heart center too. So.
Okay. So, Terri, what type of Reiki do you prefer or do most? What are you teaching? I hear you guys are teaching a class soon.
Yes, we're teaching a class. I do the Holy Fire Reiki, which is a higher energy and takes you up to a higher consciousness to do. And when I attune you into the training, I do not have to touch you. I can sit back and do it by meditations and let the universe and the Reiki Ascended Masters do the attuning. So I do Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki. I haven't done any other ones yet, but I'm content with this one.
So when you're teaching the Holy Fire, like, and I assume, are you teaching currently, Wanda?
Right at this time, I had 2 students that I taught, and with the help of Terri.
Oh, okay.
So
So when you're teaching the Holy Fire Reiki, do they have to have a different Reiki before that, or can they go right into the Huna Fire?
No, they can go right into the Holy Fire. They don't have to have
Like a
the
base.
regular Reiki. It's the same symbols, but the Holy Fire is upgraded energy.
It's like, you know, doing a little bit more, just like the Shamanic Reiki is adding a step, correct?
Yes, you're just adding that, the shaman work for healing.
Okay, along with it. So let me ask, I'm going to start with Wanda and then go backwards. What made you decide to become a professional Reiki healer or professional Reiki teacher? What made you become professional? And by professional, I mean, what made you start being paid? Because people are often like, well, what do you mean by professional? Professionals get paid for their work.
Right. Well, I do it at home, you know, or I travel, you know, whatever's needed. And I enjoy helping people heal, and, you know, plus a
But
little
what was
extra.
that thing that made you say, go from using it for yourself and your friends to saying, I want to see a broader audience? Like, was there a moment? Did somebody say something? Did something happen? Where was that?
I had a lot of tarot readers tell me that I'm a natural healer. And I feel in my heart that people could use this. People could just benefit from it. And in my heart, I want to help them as much as I can.
Okay.
You know, and
so there was nothing specific that led to that switch. Okay.
No.
How about you, Terri?
I'm on the same road with Wanda. From my heart, I've seen so many people suffering and just can't get up into different levels, and they just need a boost to help get their energy and get their positive thinking back. And I too, like with the heart center, with compassion and unconditional love. And when you see that you've changed somebody in one of your teachings, and if I help one person today, I've done my job to the universe.
So was there anything specific that helped you become a professional? Like, I know with my practices, I became a professional because people started to pay me. They started to give me money when I was helping them. And I was like, well, maybe I should become a professional. And then the other professionals around me were like, stop doing this for free. So did you have any kind of an instance that flipped that for you, or was it just working with para study? Or
no, when I used to work, and some people would come in, and I can tell my hands would heat up, and I would say, are you feeling okay? Is there something wrong? And they would say, yeah, I have a headache or I don't feel good. My hands start turning on and getting warm. And then I knew that someone around me needed it. And after finding out different results and different people saying, yeah, I really feel good, I feel better, I feel more relaxed. And then that kind of built up my confidence that, yeah, I'm doing it right. You know, this is what I wanted to do. Help people.
Awesome. So I've heard you guys mention about your hands turning on.
Yes.
So what does that feel like? And I'll ask each of you individually. So Terri, we'll start with you this time. When your hands turn on, what does that mean? Like, what does it feel like?
The energy is going out like a tingling feeling to it, and going directly pointing at the person that needs it.
Okay, so it feels like tingling.
Mm-hmm.
How do your hands feel?
My hands feel really hot,
Mm-hmm.
But I also use it for another thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I deal with spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So when spirits need energy,
Mm-hmm.
so I give them Reiki energy, providing they're good spirit, so they can talk to me longer,
Mm-hmm.
and that I can deal more with what the problems they are having. But my hands would get hot, and that's how I know. But even though your hands are hot and somebody says, oh, your hands are ice cold.
Yeah, you could feel it's different.
Yeah,
it's an inner
it's
heat.
different. Different people get different.
Like different people feel different ways. So how about you, Wanda? How do you feel when you're turning on, when you're up and ready?
I feel really good. I feel relaxed. My hands get super hot and very tingly. And I feel it go through, you know, and
Now, I have a question for you because you talked about two different types of Reiki. Does it feel different if you're trying to do shamanic Reiki, like physically, than it does doing the Holy Fire, or it feels basically the same because they work in tandem with one another?
yes, it feels basically the same feeling I get from doing shamanic Reiki. The only thing with shamanic Reiki is you're using the elements, you're using your plants, plant spirits, animal spirits, but you're still using the Reiki energy to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So it still comes through you, still channels through you the same way as Reiki does.
Okay.
You know.
So how long, if somebody were a new student, they were coming to you, I mean, I understand that at Paris Study on Psychic Nights, which is the first Monday of every month, and Psychic Saturdays, which is the third Saturday of every month, that we offer healing, which is Reiki healing most of the time, that those are short, kind of like taster type of things. Just like the readings are very short. They're 15-minute readings. The Reiki session is a 20-minute Reiki session. But if you're having a new client come to you, what do the three of you think is the best period of time to be able to get that person to experience Reiki in the way that it should be experienced?
Okay. They can, it's usually when it's during psychic night or psychic fair, it's like 20. Sometimes we run a little bit longer, depends on what the person is having. But they would feel it right away. I notice right away as soon as we, or myself, put their hands on, they have a different breathing.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell when they relax, they get a deeper breathing. So I usually watch for their stomach going up and down when they're breathing rather than their chest.
Okay.
And I can tell.
Because then you're breathing more deeply if your stomach is involved.
And they're actually getting it and it's relaxing them.
Cool. So how long of a session would you say you would like to give an initial person?
Initial person, I think 45 minutes at least, 45 minutes.
Yeah. How about you, Wanda?
Yeah, I would say about 45 minutes for a new client.
Okay. And I, being a reader, I think 45 minutes to an hour is always good for a new client because you really need to discover each other and find where you're, you know. But of course, when you're doing during a psychic fair and that type of thing, you're already on. Like you're like, zzz, and they're just plugging in and plugging out and plugging in and plugging out. So it's a little
They
bit.
don't have the time.
Yeah, you don't have the time to be able to do it. So when a client comes to you, you kind of already said that they'll start feeling more relaxed and that kind of thing. For people who've never had Reiki and don't know what it is, what does a session look like? Like, do you have, mood lighting, and is there like bells, or what's happening just with a strict Reiki session? What does that look like?
I'll do it. Yeah, we're buddy partners. We teach together, so we pass everything off to each other. To do a Reiki session, to start with, I set the intention in the room with incense where it smells good and Reiki music to get the client to start to relax and go down. And then I explain where, if I'm going to touch the person, I explain the proper ways that I'm going to touch and where they feel. I'm always asking questions, going through that. How does that feel? Are you comfortable, in that aspect? And I will also ask them, is there any pain anywhere that you want to focus a lot more on, and then just move around the body.
And how about you, Wanda? Is it any different, or do you have now you said you travel now, do you have a specific place where you set up, or do you like bring a table to people's houses? Do they sit in a chair? How does that look?
I have a table that I put in my vehicle and I travel, and I have my box set up for my incense to clear the space that I'm going to be using. And I have my CDs for very calming music, because music really, I love music. So, and it really helps me. Okay.
It's soft jazz, right?
No. It's like more of meditation, but if it was for me, I would use my drumming meditation, but that's okay. But I have my crystals that I bring along with me. I have my incense. I have my table, of course, plus with, whatever to make them comfortable. And then we go from there. Incense, if they like the sticks, some people can't handle the sticks, the incense burning sticks. So you have something else that you use to, like oils, essential oils, which helps them to relax. And then we go from there, and I make sure they're very comfortable and they're willing to accept the energy that comes in.
That I think is key. We had a discussion earlier, when you're doing any type of energy work, whether you're doing a reading or you're doing healing with any type of energy work, if the person you're dealing with is so closed off, they're like a brick wall, it's very difficult to get past that. So that leads us into the next question, and we'll let you start, Wanda. What should someone do in preparing for a session, a Reiki session specifically?
What they should do is wear comfortable clothing, nothing tight, have free will. If you want the session, you have to accept the energy that's going to come through. Because if you don't accept it, everybody has free will. If you don't accept it, it's not going to go. So we have to send it out to the world. The energy that is being sent.
If you're streaming Reiki energy and then you hit somebody who's like, does it like bounce off of them, just go off to wherever it's needed, or?
No, it don't bounce off them. You actually send it somewhere where it's needed. But if they don't have free will, you're not going to do a Reiki session. That's all to it.
Yeah, so they have to decide that they're going to accept the healing. It's got to be a conscious act, and an energetic openness to accept what's happening.
Right, and they cannot be drunk or high.
Oh, even when doing
not
readings,
work.
You should never do any kind of spiritual work drunk or high. No. And I know some people will fight me on the high part for the spiritual work, because there are, journeying and different things where you use ayahuasca. I can't speak today. Ayahuasca.
Yes.
Ayahuasca. Or marijuana or different things. And that's
well, that's illegal in the United States,
What?
The ayahuasca is illegal that I know of in the United States.
Okay.
You can't do that here.
I don't know what the law is concerning it as a religious ceremonial thing. Because I know before marijuana was legalized, if you were using it in a ceremony, you were still allowed to use it. You could use it because separation of church and state and all that.
Right.
Because it is part of a spiritual experience and everything. I don't use that stuff. I have nothing against it. I don't recommend it necessarily. And that's not what we're talking about today anyway, which is good because I don't know enough about it. But knowing that, so we know that Wanda does the Holy Fire and also does Shamanic. And we know that Cleta does Healing Touch and the Holy Fire. And is there anything else you do? Usui Reiki. You guys are gonna just make me pronounce these words today.
Yeah.
So Terri, are there any other types of modalities that you use also?
I use with mine, I can use sound healing, using vibrational therapy bowls to help heal, and crystal bowls.
To add another layer
To add another layer to mine.
Do you do Reiki by itself, or do you usually have like several things going on at once?
I do it by itself. I do them in separate sessions.
Okay, so they're all different types of healing modalities that you guys use. So now we've come to the part where you guys get to brag. So Wanda, how can people find you and where are you? Do you have a website or anything like that? And what we will do also is once we're done, I will gather everybody's information and we will post it under the YouTube link. So you guys will have to email that to me when we're finished. But go ahead, Wanda, I'm sorry.
Okay, right now I don't have no website or anything, but I use my email address to get in touch with me. So it would be Wanda6Lee@gmail.com.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah. And that's what I use.
So people would contact you in order to get an appointment with you. Thank you. Get an appointment with you, and you would then discuss fees and whatnot, because I assume since you're traveling, it may be different if somebody's 20 minutes away versus if they're an hour and a half away.
Right.
As far as, what the charges are.
Right.
So what would an average, if someone were coming to you and you didn't have to travel at all for a 45-minute session, what would you charge for a Reiki session?
That would be about $75.
Okay.
For 45 minutes.
So good to know. So, Cleta, where do we find out about you? Are you on a website?
No.
Yes, you are.
The only one you can reach me through Parastudy at parastudy.org.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I put you on that website. I know you're on the website.
I'm on that, but I don't have my own personal.
You don't have your own personal.
Yeah,
you don't
because
have.
I do a lot of different things.
Yes, yes. So, and Terri, how do people get in touch with you?
They just hang out with me. No, just kidding.
They come to Parastudy.
They come to Parastudy for one. And I teach out here. I do a lot of different things. And my website is being developed at healingswithterri.com.
Healingswithterri.com. So we are in 2021. This is January. It's being developed, which means within a month it will be up. Other than that, you can find Terri at parastudy.org. And you will often find Wanda at Parastudy hanging out with us on Psychic Days and Psychic Nights. One other thing that wonderful Wanda does, which I of course don't have right on me right now, but she makes the best masks. They fit perfectly, they're all cotton. There are several layers. They're very comfortable, very breathable, awesome. And oftentimes she will sell them here at Parastudy to help us out.
Yes.
Thank you, Wanda.
Oh, you're welcome.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to a Q&A. And what I'm going to do is I'm stopping the live stream on Facebook. So thank you for joining us on Facebook. We will see you guys later. We just wanted to give you a taste of what it's like here at Mystery, Mystics, and Metaphysics. And today we're here at Parastudy. So we're going to stop that live stream now. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone. Say goodbye to everybody on Facebook.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There we go. All right. And